It seems like there should be 10 times as many people here. The thing that strikes me most is the fact that there are just simply not that many people. You look around and there's no one really walking on the street. Another thing that's really interesting is almost every single building that's been here for a while, or every single company has something that says established or dictates the year for how long they've been in Detroit. It's truly a community where everyone has an understanding of their history. A lot of the buildings showcase how old Detroit is. Like that one, 1868, so right after the Civil War, this building was built. Behind me is the General Motors building, so obviously a huge part of Detroit's history and what goes on. As you can see, there is the Detroit People Mover going in and out in the background. You can see how tall these buildings are, which is just interesting as they tower above a city with very few people. Here is a 5-lane road. There's a green light. You can see how many cars are coming down this 5-lane road. It's really, really dark. Here we have an organization that's titled Homes for Black Children, but it serves all races and ethnicities. Given the racial disparity in Detroit, it's pretty fascinating that there's something so specific like this, yet all-encompassing. I'm right behind my first tattoo shop, which is really interesting because typically in urban environments, especially when there's bars nearby, like the one right next door, tattoo shops will be there. But I'm wondering if, given the sort of demographics here, if tattoos are not a part of the culture at all, and if they're one of the most active buildings I've seen thus far is actually the YMCA, which is obviously an institution around the country, but one that's focusing on families and the community, which is exactly what Detroit needs right now. There's an organization called Zagster, which acts much like City Bike does in New York, where you sort of rent a bike through an application and you can ride it around Detroit. So I'm going to have to check out the Detroit People Mover. Apparently it has bed bugs, which is obviously a problem in New York, but mostly in apartments. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't sit down. As you can see, the effects of terrorism are alive and well. No, I'm going this way, so you guys can walk.
Oh, okay.
If you want to be, celebrities, you can be in the video too.
No, that's amazing.
So just like that interaction right there, one of the main things I've noticed that everyone in Detroit is so extremely nice. Right now, I'm on my way to a venture capital firm that funds tech startups in Detroit. Looking forward to seeing sort of what small businesses are doing in the city and how tech can help them be more successful. So the startup scene is really huge. There's all sorts of companies that are, all around the country, but they're based here in Detroit. And it's interesting because a lot of these people are either Detroit natives that are starting businesses or moving from places like Chicago into the environment. Two Michelle's is an art gallery that apparently has a preview today. You can see
But my father-in-law
the types of things that they auction off in here are pretty classic. And the question becomes whether or not, these things here are affordable. If you have stores that have expensive products and people can't buy them, what's the point? So the thing that I'm taking away from Detroit on my first day is that while the city is absolutely vibrant and growing, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. On the panel today, they talked briefly about the regulatory problems that they're going to encounter with unions and things like that, and they highlighted the impact of private capital, like the $100 million worth of pension funding that has been donated by private organizations and philanthropic organizations. But the spirit of Detroit in conjunction with that is only so much to fix a failing city. The structural problems that exist regarding filling real estate, cutting down on crime, and economic opportunity will only go so far if it's just the tech sector, right? So Detroit Venture Partners was a great way to see how this ecosystem of Detroit is being built. But beyond that, I'm still having a bit of a hard time seeing how you can recover from the massive structural problems of debt and regulation that are plaguing these businesses from being in a new city. Unless things are completely overhauled in regards to the tax code, regulations, licensing requirements, property taxes, zoning regulations, it's going to be very difficult for anyone other than the people who used to be from Detroit, who are coming back to Detroit, to make a huge impact. But the positive is that I'm very, very hopeful because I've never been in a city that is as open, forward looking, and hopeful about their future. Because everyone here wants Detroit to succeed and they want it from the bottom of their heart. And I think that the perception that the media gives is not doing them any favors. And I'm really happy to be a part of it here and sort of showcase how things are changing and how Detroit has the potential to be one of the greatest cities in America once again.